Good morning and welcome to Word of the Day Thursday. One of my favorite movies when I was growing up was The Wizard of Oz. There's a part at the very end of the movie where the Scarecrow asks Dorothy, "What have you learned, Dorothy?" Those words come back to me often in a very personal way. I'll often ask myself after experiencing something new and different, what have I learned? Our words for today are, what have I learned? This pandemic has certainly been a new experience for us all. New words have become part of our lives: COVID-19, PPE, social distancing, and curbside pickup, to just name a few. And as this pandemic enters the 8th month, it's time for me to sit back and reflect on the many lessons I've learned. First of all, I have learned that we are truly all in this together. The pandemic has touched us all in one way or another. Our actions right now can directly affect not only our own safety and health, but that of our neighbors. It's a reminder for our Christian communities that we are all brothers and sisters, all beloved children of God. Country doesn't matter, race doesn't matter, income or profession don't matter, sexual orientation does not matter. Also, while we've been sheltering at home, I've had a great deal of time to think and reflect. After watching the murder of George Floyd at the hands of the Minneapolis police, I found myself profoundly changed. I've always been comfortable saying Black Lives Matter, but now I see in a new way how systemic racism has poisoned our country. I've spent a good amount of time thinking about my own prejudices and stereotypes. Before, if something like that came to my mind, I would always banish it with the thought, well, that's not nice, Linda. But now, I try to hold on to those thoughts and take time to examine them. Where did they come from? How might I better respond? One of the good things about sheltering at home has been the chance to read. I love reading, and it seems like I finally have time to read all the books I want. I've been reading Black authors and the history of systemic racism in our country. I feel like I'm learning, but I know I have a lot more to learn. What else have I learned? Well, I've realized that the church is truly not a building. Just like the children's song, the church is a people. Even though we've not been able to be together in our buildings, we haven't stopped being the church. Even though we've not been able to worship in person and share the peace and greet each other with handshakes and hugs, God's mission in this place continues. And we found new ways to reach out with God's word. And in some ways, our new ways of reaching out through our website and Facebook can actually reach out well beyond our congregation. The pandemic has gone on for a long time now, much longer than any of us might have imagined. But it will come to an end. In the meantime, take time to reflect on your lives during this pandemic. What has changed? What has stayed the same? What new things have you realized? Spend some time with the question, what have you learned, Dorothy?